This Easter season, we're treated to passages, readings on the resurrection appearances. And one of my favorites is the road to Emmaus. And the two disciples are leaving Jerusalem. This is the first day of the week. This is the day of the resurrection. They thought everything was lost, right? When Jesus comes up alongside them, he asks them, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "Are you the only one that hasn't heard this? You know, we thought Jesus was the one, the Messiah was the one to redeem Israel." But now they were downcast. They had lost hope. And they even recounted to Jesus how, about the experience of the holy women going to see the empty tomb and seeing the angels. And then two from the group, Peter and John, went and saw the empty tomb as well. And then Jesus tells them, how foolish and slow of heart to believe you are. And then he goes through the scriptures and shows the prophecies of the Messiah. Maybe he looked at the suffering servant songs. Maybe he quoted from the Psalms that talks about a resurrection, hints at a resurrection, and rouses this faith in them. So they're kind of excited, right? And they get to the village, evening's falling, and they say, "Stay with us." So he does. And then he breaks bread with them. And they use Eucharistic language in describing that breaking of the bread. In Luke's gospel, he took the bread, he blessed it, broke, and gave it. And that's words that were used to describe the Eucharist. And then when they head back to Jerusalem, because Jesus disappeared, but yet they recognized him in the breaking of the bread, then he vanished, they go back to Jerusalem and tell the 11 there and said, tells them what happened. They said, "Did our hearts not burn?" As he broke open the word to us, as he explained the scriptures to us, did our hearts not burn? And this is what we have at every Mass. We have the scripture readings, we have the explanation in the homily, and then we have the celebration of the Eucharist, the consecration of the bread and wine. And so what happened on that road to Emmaus is given to us at every Mass. And if we meditate on that scripture, it helps us to recognize them in the Eucharist. The Eucharist is truly the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus Christ. There's been a real substantial change. And that is highlighted in this reading, the fact that they recognize Jesus in the breaking of the bread. Why? Because he's truly there in an extraordinary way. He's there in the scriptures, but he's also in the Eucharist in a way par excellence, in a way above all others, substantially present there. And it's his resurrected body that we receive. I love the whole scene. I love the fact that Jesus comes alongside them. I love the fact that they are despondent, they've lost hope. And Jesus encourages them by showing them the plan of God, that God is always at work in our life. He's always moving us forward, if we're open to it. And our job is not to be slow of heart in believing, but to believe and to receive these great gifts he has for us.